A rapidly changing situation. What do you know at this hour?
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning, Frank and Caitlin. As bad as this fire started around 4 o'clock this morning, we are relieved to tell everyone that there was nobody inside at the time and nobody in this fire has been hurt, including firefighters. Now, if we can take a quick push into this building, at this point, just moments ago, there was a lot of smoke coming from this building, but now not so much, so that's good news. It continues to get better as we go. But if we want to pop up the picture of what it looked like early this morning around 4 o'clock, you could see right in this picture there were flames. Hey, good morning. As we have been reporting, this all happened on a very busy stretch of Ybor City right at bar close. Investigators say that all started with a fight between two groups, which of course ended then in gunfire. It's called House Bill 49, and essentially 16 and 17-year-old workers, they could work really any shift that they want to. You can hear it, you can see it. It's just 1 hour away now until the sandbags can be filled at this first location out here. Everybody is up bright and early to get your sandbags filled, starting at 7 o'clock. It's starting to calm down out here near Hudson Beach Park as of right now, but just 10 minutes ago, the rain was falling very heavy, the wind whipping up here. My photographer and I have been here by Sam's Beach Bar since about 3 o'clock yesterday, and this is the seawall, and I can tell you right here, there's a sidewalk, or there was, above or beyond this, there was about 3-4 feet of dry sand, which started to come up yesterday as Hurricane Debbie, then a tropical storm, was pushing through this area. Good morning. It's such a fun story. A Polk County second grader profiling a Jewish rapper for her class project. Phillips was just 22 years old, and he was the first one to come forward that night, voluntarily giving himself up. And according to a criminal affidavit, when Phillips turned himself into police, he had a Glock 29 10mm semi-automatic firearm on his waistband with 11 rounds still in it. Last month during the budget, but that millage rate was actually rejected. And hey, good morning. Yes, Florida governor as well as presidential candidate has lawmakers coming to the Capitol early to get this special session started rather than waiting that 2 months when it would normally start. Hey, good morning. Trip away sounds pretty nice right now, but nothing as of today is set in stone. But I can tell you, Avello could have departures as soon as May of 2024, and as fast as time flies, that is really just around the corner. People we've spoken with tell us that they believe that the waterspout turned tornado came over this house right here, this brown home, where a roof fell in on a woman laying in bed. Debris fell on her. It started raining on her. We're told that she pulled her covers over her head to protect herself. She is completely fine. And then if you just look down this block here at this home, this is where police tell us a patio, which was originally on the other side of the home, flipped over the house, is in the driveway, and also sent debris impaling into a vehicle. If Radford is found guilty of murder, the state attorney's office says they will pursue a hate crime enhancement.
Our own volleyball star, 10 Tampa Bay reporter Andrea Lyon is live from inside Emily this morning with a preview of the matchups and also just how much the sport has grown. We need to see you spike the ball this morning.
She's so modest about it.
Yeah, it's growing. It's growing. And one of the teams will be crowned champions just down here on Sunday night. We're expected to see about 20,000 people fill up Emily for both tonight and the finals on Sunday. So this is a really big deal when it comes to women's volleyball. But take a look down at my feet. We've got surge already coming up over the sidewalk. And if I were to step off here, there's about 4 feet of water here already. Like Amanda was saying, it is going to feel like 100 degrees today, so overheating is going to be easy, but get a jump start right now. I do every morning. Fill up that cup of water. Doctors recommend drinking about 64 ounces of water every day, and that's without those record-breaking temps. Just a few minutes ago, this excavator came in. The job of it going to be to tow out this whale. We know this morning, as soon as experts got on the scene, they tell us that that whale did die early this morning. Hey, good morning. Free sounds good, right? So starting now, the United Way Suncoast, they are helping everyone around the Bay Area get those taxes done. We're still waiting to see what kind of charges will be filed against this suspect accused of firing shots hitting a 4-year-old child. Good afternoon, Frank. It was really something to watch come in. It was a massive 787 Egypt Air coming in just a few hours ago right here at TPA. On board, 23 U.S. citizens. They've been working around the clock since the attacks began in Israel to locate Americans in the area who are fighting their way back home. Now, the first group included 270 Americans saved, returned to the U.S. in Tampa here just 2 days ago. This is exciting news. Everyone loves to save a buck or two, but this is really for anyone who goes through toll roads often, whether you're heading to work or you're just heading to the beach. Hey, good morning, Jameson and Caitlin. Many of those victims up early to get up north to the state capitol, and all of them with many different stories. We're talking about survivors and families who've suffered through murder, domestic violence, human trafficking. The police chief, Chris Velasquez, he was out of work and without pay for 3 days last week. Soon could be out of a job as well, according to that letter we first told you about last week. And in that letter, the city manager bringing to light multiple accusations against the Lake Wales police chief, including nepotism and lack of transparency. 3 people in total were shot in this situation, 2 of them dying, including that young 3-year-old child. Now, these calls came in Monday evening just after 6:30. We know that officers rushed to that address of 1850 Cambridge Cove Circle, an apartment complex here in Lakeland. It was there they found a child. The 3-year-old had already been killed. Another person was also shot but did survive and was sent to the hospital. A third person involved in this shooting was dropped off in a personal vehicle but did later die at Lakeland Regional Health. This is a look at what the historically segregated area of Campbell Park, that neighborhood, looked like before. If you have a lead foot, you're going to want to listen up, because here's a few tips to navigate not getting a ticket this week, as well as, starting some good habits here. Hey, good morning, ladies. This is good news for those antsy to get back to the beach. We've been out here reporting on this since Idalia came through, wiped away those critical dunes that were about 10 to 15 feet high. And the non-government group we've been talking about is a small team. They're made up of veterans. They're now in Israel, and where Project Dynamo is, they've been telling us that the skies are clear there during the day, but that doesn't mean that it's going to stay that way, especially overnight and all that violence going on. But 10 Tampa Bay did speak with Brian Stern, who's the founder of that group, Project Dynamo. We talked with him after arriving in the conflict zone. He tells us he has a small team there working to rescue Americans. The area they are situated in is, of course, under war.
Now, 10 Tampa Bay reporter Andrea Lyon joins us live this morning with a look at what to expect in court this week. Good morning, Andrea.
Hey, good morning, Frank and Caitlin. Those civil rights groups includes the NAACP, who say that the redistricting by DeSantis. We expected this surge, right? We have been warning about this, but because this was quote unquote just a tropical storm as it was passing through this area, people around here in Hudson didn't expect what they're seeing now, which is this, a very flooded intersection. This drain right below me not taking a drop, a neighborhood back there completely blocked off. But now look at this area. This is the intersection of Old Dixie Highway and Hudson Avenue. Like seasons fade, life always ends.
You just never know what you're going to respond to.
And when it does, in St. Croix County, Patty Schachter is there to determine how.
That's our job, to find cause and manner, but to help the family figure out through their grief how they live.
The chief medical examiner and her team comb around 125 unwitnessed deaths and potential crime scenes every year, and it's only expected to climb.
Well, when you look at the demographics of the county and where our death rate is going, it's not going to go down.
Aging baby boomers will make for more work over the next 40 years. And with a national shortage of certified forensic pathologists, each investigation from St. Croix County to Green Bay relies on other agencies.
So we are dependent on Minnesota, basically, to provide us with our autopsy needs.
Until now. Based on logistics, St. Croix County spent $198,000 on this refurbished CT scanner.
Everything is done digitally, so it's pretty awesome.
It sees what a pathologist would, if not better. And besides cost, the medical examiner's office says the biggest impact will be emotions.
This is amazing that they can do this.
Modern technology this mom only wishes local agencies had 10 years ago.
I mean, it's not just even the people who had loved the souls that inhabited those bodies and having to forever see them in another way.
In July of 2012, Jessica Peterson's ex-husband called her at work and admitted to killing the kids. He murdered all three of their girls, Amara, Sophie, and Cecilia.
If we don't have to even necessarily autopsy them fully, like some of that trauma, like we can use these scans to see what happened to them.
This machine could help avoid any more unnecessary heartache, turning gruesome yet personal images into digital slides. Answers will come quicker too for both detectives and families. Using a scanner instead of a scalpel cuts down delivery from the usual 6 to 8 weeks of wait time for results down to only 3 days.
Which for families is going to be really, really helpful in their journey of grief.
Good morning. It's such a fun story. A Polk County second grader profiling a Jewish rapper for her class project. And it's really great. This Jewish rapper also promoting peace with his music. At just 7 years old, Hyla Branislavljevic has an understanding of what's happening overseas, scrolling the coverage of the war on screen with her mom.
I'm in Ms. Davidson's class.
So when the second grader was assigned a project to profile a famous American, Hyla saw herself in kosher dills.
Some people call me kosher dills.
The artist is one of just a handful of Jewish rappers in the U.S. As a proud mom and also an American Jew, Hyla's mom shared her daughter's hard work with the musician over Instagram.
This is for second graders and Ms. Davidson.
In a rhyming response,
I'm Jewish. You know, we all gotta be peace inclusive, common sense, tolerance.
the MTV celebrity and protester for peace shared Hyla's message with his 146,000 followers.
I've heard a lot of your raps and
A second grader's words of wisdom reaching much farther than she probably
thank you for being a great person to the world and
ever imagined. I spoke with the rapper over the phone this past weekend, and he told me he could not be more excited to be a part of that project. He said it's just another way to shed light on such a problem of anti-Semitism, not only around the world, but right here in our country.
He wore his cami jammies growing up.
From the moment he was born on base
Main tower is CCP. Go ahead.
to the day this private signed up for the U.S. Army.
It was in his blood.
His ma, Annette Kirk, who also served, said it was something the combat medic was meant for. Paul Kazupi even said so in this letter.
He felt that this was his destiny, that he should be in the military.
And then his first mission.
I was worried because 2009, we were still in Iraq.
Paul was consistent. Pictures and letters came often.
I don't know how to put it.
It was August 8th, 2010, exactly 1 year after Annette got the letter claiming this was his calling. And that's when Paul missed his call home.
I just remember saying no, screaming. I believe I fell to my knees on the ground.
Paul's convoy hit an IED. The combat medic, history buff, graduate from Armwood High School, brother and son, was gone.
I actually had guilt for the longest time.
In an instant, Annette's blue star became gold.
Honestly, being with the other Gold Star mothers helped me so much. It saved my life.
Your first couple of years are kind of like in a blur. And
Lori Fleming suffered a similar loss. Sergeant Terry Lisk came under fire in a mortar attack, March 26, 2006.
We don't get better, but we do get stronger.
making this time of year a moment to remember.
I don't expect you to not enjoy your barbecue because my son enjoyed a barbecue. What we would like you to do is just remember who fought and gave their all so you could still have your barbecue.
A day to reflect.
Knowing that these young men and women died for our freedom, that's what's most important.
And a minute to remind us behind every gold star is a soldier who sacrificed it all.
It's precious to me because my son was precious to me. He'll always be a part of me.